Imagine pitching a tent deep inside a wild, ancient forest, miles away from civilization. The sun goes down, the campfire burns out, and you crawl into your sleeping bag. As you close your eyes, the forest around you comes alive with the sounds of predators, wolves howling, large cats moving through the brush, and bears foraging in the dark. In this moment, you are completely defenseless. Your eyes are closed, your muscles are relaxed, and your brain is entirely unconscious. Biologically speaking, a sleeping human should be the easiest, most effortless meal a wild carnivore could ever ask for. Yet historical data and wildlife biology reveal a staggering anomaly. Unless a predator is severely injured, starved, or rabid, wild wolves, mountain lions, and bears almost never attack a human camp while the occupants are fast asleep. In fact, if a predator stumbles upon a sleeping human, their natural instinct isn't to bite. It is to immediately freeze, become deeply unsettled, and slowly back away into the shadows. We assume this happens because predators are afraid of our tents, or because they smell our campfires. But modern cognitive ecology has just uncovered a much stranger, darker reality. When a wild apex hunter looks down at your sleeping, unmoving body in the dirt, their evolutionary software doesn't recognize you as prey. In fact, the physical layout of a sleeping human triggers a deep biological warning system inside their brains. To the animal kingdom, you look the absolute most dangerous when you are completely unconscious. If you are sleeping under an animal skin, a canvas blanket, or inside a sleeping bag, your body heat is suppressed, your human scent is altered, and your limbs are completely hidden. To a hunting cat or wolf stepping into the clearing, you don't look like a primate, a deer, or any recognizable prey animal on their biological menu. You look like a massive, featureless, horizontal lump. In the brutal economy of nature, predators are incredibly risk-averse. Attacking an unknown, unidentified object is a massive gamble that could result in a fatal injury. To a predator, an unknown shape isn't food, it's a trap. But what happens if the predator gets closer and realizes that this strange lump is actually a living, breathing creature? This is where the psychological horror for the animal truly begins. Prey animals twitch their ears, chew rhythmically, or shift their weight constantly to stay alert. Even when they sleep, wild animals experience light, hyper-vigilant sleep cycles, waking up every few minutes to scan the horizon for danger. Humans, however, experience an incredibly deep, evolutionary phase of sleep called prolonged REM sleep. During REM sleep, our brains completely paralyze our skeletal muscles to prevent us from acting out our dreams. We lie perfectly still, breathing in slow, robotic, deeply rhythmic intervals for hours at a time. To a wild animal, this state of deep, absolute stillness lacks all natural context. When a predator encounters a creature that is breathing but completely unmoving, its primitive brain experiences a natural version of the uncanny valley. In their world, a large creature that doesn't twitch, doesn't react to the cracking of twigs, and doesn't wake up when approached, doesn't look asleep, it looks dead. Or worse, it looks like it is playing a game. Many apex predators, especially wild felines, are biologically hardwired to refuse to eat carrion, dead, rotting flesh, to avoid lethal bacteria. If you look dead and motionless, a big cat loses all predatory interest. But if they smell that you are alive yet completely unbothered by their presence, their brain assumes you are an apex threat so powerful and confident that you have absolutely zero fear of the dark. Your sleep looks like an act of supreme dominance, the ghostly scent. The final layer of defense keeping predators at bay is our chemical signature. When a human is awake and encounters a predator, our brains release a massive flood of adrenaline and cortisol. Predators can smell this fear from downwind, and it instantly validates their dominance, encouraging them to attack. But when you are in a deep sleep, your adrenaline levels crash to their absolute lowest point. Your nervous system enters a state of peaceful, restorative calm. When a wolf sniffs a sleeping human camp, they don't smell the chaotic chemical cocktail of a panicked, fleeing animal. They smell a completely calm, baseline, emotionless creature. In the predator's evolutionary memory, the only creatures that emit zero fear chemicals in the deep dark of night are other megafauna apex predators, animals like grizzly bears or silverback gorillas. The predator's brain runs a quick diagnostic. This object has a weird shape, it doesn't blink, it breathes like a machine, and it smells completely unbothered by my presence. The animal's ancestral survival software overrides its hunger, convincing it that stepping on this sleeping entity will unleash a violent, unpredictable monster.